Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Dominic with eXp Realty right here in the Las Vegas Henderson area. All right, so here is your weekly update. Okay, so straight out of the gate, we're going to go over a few local numbers here in the Las Vegas Henderson areas. Okay, since last week, we've had 23 new homes hit the market. Okay, at the moment, there is currently 21 that are under contract. And within the past 7 days, there have been 9 properties that have sold, okay? And that's the entire Clark County, okay? Now, specifically for eXp Realty, our brokerage, we currently have 229 homes for sale, okay? We have 57 that are under contract, okay? So, with that being said, that's pretty much the local numbers just straight out of the gate. Now let's switch screens here. We're going to jump into some mortgage news since last week, okay? So for your 30-year fixed, we're sitting at about 6.2. Your 15-year fixed, we're sitting at about 5.5. And then for your 30-year VA, we're sitting at about 5.8. And your 30-year jumbo, 6.4, okay? So not much of a change since last week. Now I also wanted to go over, some the most asked real estate questions that are currently going on in our local market nationwide. So who better to ask than Google? So most common real estate questions are: should I order a home inspection? What if my offer is rejected? What is a buyer's market? So with the first question, I'll try to just go into there's a lot of questions here. I'll try to just go into them briefly and hopefully give you some insight on each question. So the first one is, should I order a home inspection? Yes, ordering a home inspection is probably the smartest thing that a buyer can do, because you want to see obviously what's going on with the home, and you want to see what repairs the seller is willing to repair or give you a credit for, okay? So with a home inspection, it can cost a few $100 depending on the square footage and the company that you hire. But with that being said, they're gonna go in there, it could take an hour or two, and they're gonna give you a detailed report on what they feel needs to be addressed, okay? It could be electrical, it could be, something to do with, the roof, but usually does not involve, normal wear and tear, okay? So with that being said, let's jump to the next question. What if my offer is rejected? Well, if your offer is rejected, there's usually a few different reasons that your agent should have touched base on before you submitted the offer. Okay, if the offer was rejected, a lot of times it could be, price, obviously price. It could have been your time frame. Your time frame to close wasn't jiving with the sellers. It could be that the seller wanted to wait for to see what other offers are coming in. Okay, so if they feel that your offer met certain criteria and they feel that they can get better, then that'd be a reason to reject the offer. But there's numerous reasons, and my job, as a realtor, is to find out what it's going to take to get your offer accepted, okay? And if if that criteria doesn't meet, what you expect in your standards, then, we can simply look at another house, okay? So what is a buyer's market? A buyer's market is high inventory. High inventory, low interest rates. That definitely puts the ball in the buyer's court, okay? So a few years back, it was a hot seller's market. There wasn't a lot of homes for sale at all. Interest rates, were low. So, that market definitely favored the sellers. But right now, we're still in somewhat of a seller's market. We're somewhat in the middle. It's not really favoring one side too much heavier than the other, okay? Agent commission changes. As you know, I touched base on this with my previous couple videos. Basically what this comes down to is there's 3 key factors when it comes to agent commission changes, okay? Number 1 is that realtors cannot advertise buyer's agent commission on the MLS. Number 2, a seller does not have to offer a buyer's agent commission. And number 3, the buyer may be in a situation to where they may have to come out of pocket to pay their buyer's agent. Okay, so those are the 3 factors right there. Okay, the 3 key changes regarding the recent NAR lawsuits. Okay, how much does the house cost? How much does the house cost? Well, I mean, the house costs what the seller is asking for it. Now, does the buyer want to pay that price? It's either a yes or no. So if the buyer feels that that price is overpriced, the buyer can always submit an offer anyways. Price is just a suggestion. So if your limit for a home offer purchase is $500,000 and a seller is asking $510 for their home, you could submit an offer at the $500. If it's still in your budget and your monthly mortgage payment is not too heavy, go ahead and submit your offer. You could always, the worst they can say is no, right? So let's see, what factors affect property values? Okay. A factor that can affect property value is location. Have you done any major repairs? Did you give a full renovation of the kitchen? Have you updated the bathrooms? How old is your AC unit? How old is your home? So, that all those factors can determine your property value. So it's going to depend on where you price the home and what kind of market we're currently in. Okay, and that's something we can definitely help you with. Now, let's jump to what is earnest money. I think we all know what earnest money is. Earnest money is a good faith deposit from a buyer into contract to purchase a home. Okay. Now, purchase EMD is usually 1% of the house price. Okay, and that's usually needs to be deposited within 3 business days of your offer being accepted. Okay. What is included in closing costs? Okay, with that being said, let's jump over to this app here. Let's go ahead and share that screen. All right, so here's an example. Say if somebody is selling their home for $500,000, they have a conventional loan. They're paying a 3% listing agent fee, and they are paying a 3% buyer agent fee that they agreed to. Okay. Now, let's say there's no seller concessions, there's no repairs. Okay. And the loan balance is $100,000, and their interest rate is 3%. Okay. We have a real property transfer tax on there as well. And closing date, we'll say October 26th, about a month out. Okay. And as you can see, at closing, they would net $365,065. Okay. Scroll down a little bit, and these are the numbers that we just went over basically. Prorated tax rebate $846. Closing costs were $35,782. Okay, and the majority of that $35,782 is going to be realtor's professional fee. Okay, now if we click detailed closing costs, this gives you a more detailed rundown of the seller's closing costs. Okay, so there's the total of the $35,782. Okay, title and escrow, $2,148, and then the escrow fee is $610. And again, HOA transfer fee of $200, and these are all estimates. Okay, these are all estimates. Home inspection $60, real property transfer tax $2,550, buyer broker fee $15,000, and then the seller broker fee $15,000. Now, both buyer and seller broker fees are negotiable. Okay, but for the most part, they're going to run about 3% on each side. So let's close this out. Now, if you are a buyer, okay, let's see what your closing costs would be on this same priced home. Okay, so we have buyer. Let's see, you get we'll go, FHA. FHA, and the price, the purchase price max for FHA is $498. So we'll put the home price is $498. Okay. Down payment for FHA is 3.5%. Today's interest rates are about 6.1 or 6.2. 30-year term. Buyer's agent compensation, let's take that out. Okay. These are I'll just go basically strictly on your closing costs, excluding buyer agent at the moment. Okay. So with that being said, let's go ahead and hit compute. Let that change up a little bit. Okay, and here we have it right here. Okay, your monthly payment is $3,698. Okay, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, and then you have to bring to close for closing costs $31,999, which can be paid by the seller if you give a appropriate offer. Okay, something that's going to make sense for everybody. Okay, so when you look at this $31,000 or $32,000 number, don't be startled, because it's our job as realtors to find out how you can get that paid and win in this market, whether you're a buyer or a seller. Okay, so there you have it. Hopefully this was helpful. This is my Fidelity agent calculator. This is Sydney Cimarelli. She works for Fidelity. And with that being said, that's gonna do it for this week. Okay, so hopefully you found this video informative. If there's anything we can help you with, earlier I had mentioned 2216 Elford Court. I will be doing an open house on that to come. You will definitely be notified about that. Feel free to stop by. I'm going to have some light refreshments. Stop by. Let's talk about the market. We can talk about anything not related to the real estate market. I'd love to meet you and see what we can do to assist you in any way, okay? Be safe out there. Take care. Bye-bye.